morning, and you're welcome to your Saturday edition of your breakfast program. Good morning, Abia. My name is Michael Ofonia because I have Stella Okechukwu here with me. Stella, good morning. It's nice to have you on the breakfast program.
Thank you, Michael. Good morning. And of course, good morning, Abia. Thanks for joining us on today's Good Morning Abia Stop Breakfast Show on MCL TV.
And of course, what we do on this program is to bring you all to speed, with all that is making rounds in United States, and also taking you to outside the shores of this country. And of course, we'll ask you to stay through while we'll give you all that is happening. Of course, it is a Saturday edition, and our sincere apology for coming a bit late, and hopefully that we'll be able to give you all that we have lined up for you on this program. Stella, before we actually take the day's program, let's talk about this program is already 10 years, and of course, looking back at all that has transpired so far, how do you want to rate the program itself, even though it's not for you to rate how the program has fared anyway?
It is there for you out there, and of course we also, we need to know how we've been able to, carry this program always now for the past 10 years. If you ask me, it's been so good, because it's been so good. Okay, I can, boldly beat my chest to say that we've been able to, carry the people of others, we've been their mouthpiece all this while, discussing some issues that relates to them, that affects them directly. And outside the shows of Abia, everybody has surpassed it. Talking about River State, we can be able to say that we've been able to impact into people's life, and also bringing some of the issues they face here in Abia State, inviting the governor and some of the representatives, talking about their commissioners,
those in the House
of Assembly to actually come discuss some issues as it affects Abians. So I'll get my chance to say that we've been able to do so well.
Okay, that is Stella's opinion. Of course, you also have your opinion that we're asking. So please tell us what you think we're not doing well and what you think we should be able to add to make this program better. And of course, like Stella said, the program is actually created so you can have a platform to express yourself. And believe me, those in authority don't miss this program, because this is where they get the right expression and right gist from Ambians. And of course, we'll say, please tell us if you think there's something that you want us to do that we are not doing. And of course, just to bring you also up to speed, that we are adding another segment to say, free your mind, where we allow you to send us text messages, emails, and what we think the government of the day is not doing, what we think people should know about. That is what this program is created for. For 10 good years, believe me, there's so many things happening in the background that you don't see. We'll have the opportunity to unveil. As I speak to you right now, there's a lot of people in the background. Sammy is here. We also have Temple. We have Ezine. We have a lot of people in the background. And I tell you, there's a lot. And sometimes you just see the beautiful people. If the director can open up the set, you see this beautiful piece. But believe me, there's a lot of things. Sometimes when the program is going on, somebody might have to pass up information and stuff. You don't get to see that. And sometimes the camera could be very funny and people could be caught in the act. All this we're going to reveal to you, but we're saying for these 10 good years, you out there have made it possible, because without you, there's no MC. Without you, there's no Good Morning Abia. Thank you for speaking your mind and freeing yourself. And of course, we'll continue to give this platform to you so you can express yourself. Well, 10 years and still counting, and believe me, by the time it is next 10 years, probably very possible that some of us might have also moved on and decided to take other challenges at its own front. But we're saying it can only be God that for 10 good years will be all year hale and happy, despite the different opinions. Everybody wants an opinion to be heard and the rest, and then we have worked tirelessly as one family so that you can have a say. All right, quickly, let's go to the words of marbles. The words of marbles are words that will give to you and I every morning to make a better person. This morning is coming from John Burroughs.
And of course, it says a man can fall many times, but he isn't a failure until he begins to learn somebody else. I'll tell it again. The man can fail many times, but he isn't a failure until he begins to blame somebody else.
Believe me, I agree sincerely. It's just to say, a bad workman will always follow with his tool. They say, oh, you see, I didn't achieve that because the system was bad. I didn't achieve that because the saw blade was faulty. Says a man can fall so many times. It's not a problem if you fall, but it becomes a problem when you begin to blame somebody else. Somebody else could also be the equipment, can also be the tool you work with. And of course, if you are the head of any company, if you are the head of any department, if you are the head of any chosen association of friends and everything, and anything goes wrong, say it and take responsibility. If you are the governor of a state and anything goes wrong, take responsibility. If you are the president of any country and of course things are not moving well, take responsibility. And that's why you are the head. I'll tell you something. I had an issue with a driver and I was really angry, and the way the stuff I wanted to accomplish was not. And guess what? Somebody said, if the driver thinks like you, he will not be your driver. And so because he doesn't think like you, and that's why he's your driver. And so you must see his limitations. And so that's a food for thought. If you are the head, take responsibility. All right, taking responsibility, it is for Stella to tell us what is making rounds of the world of news. Stella?
And to the news this morning, the West African Examinations Council says the result of 9,457 candidates who stand for the second series of East West African Senior School Certificate Examination was C for private candidates are to be investigated before they will be released. The Council's head of National Office, Ulu Abinipikun, said this at a news conference to announce the results of candidates who participated in the 2019 C pilots. According to him, the number of these candidates representing 9.74% are reported to have been involved in one form of examination malpractice or the other. He said that their cases will be presented to the appropriate committee of the council and the decisions reached on the cases will be communicated to the affected candidates within the shortest possible time. And then people noted that a total of 97,080 candidates registered for the examination, while 94,884 candidates sat for the examination. Giving a breakdown of the statistics of the candidates' performance, he said that of the 94,884 that sat for the examination, a total of 91,225 candidates had their results fully processed and released. He also noted that 3,659 others had a few of their subjects still being processed, saying that such results will, however, be speedily processed and released within the next 1 week. According to him, 49,679 candidates, representing 52.34%, obtained credit and above with a minimum of any 5 subjects with or without English language or mathematics. He said that of the total number of candidates that sat for the examination, 33,304 others, representing 35.10% obtained credit and above in a minimum of 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics, out of which was sustained 16,431. And meanwhile, Nickel Management has approved the dismissal of 70 staff from her services for certificates forgery. These dismissals are sequel to a report submitted by a management committee constituted to verify worker certificates. The verification committee carried out its assignment by inviting all workers with questionable credentials to appear before it, during which some staff actually attested that their certificates were fake. The committee also contacted the schools which the affected staff claimed to have attended, but the institutions denied them. On completion of the assignment, the committee submitted its findings to the NECO management, which forwarded it to the NECO governing board. The NECO Head of Information and Public Relations Division, Aziz Sani, said that it is his 17th extraordinary meeting. The governing body vetted the report and approved the dismissal of the affected staff. He said that the council, under the acting registrar, Abia Ghana, has no tolerance for corruption and is sanitizing the system in line with the President Muhammad Buhari-led administration. Herdsmen have extended their inhumane disturbances to the Federal University of Technology Futo as the school authority alleges their constant harassment of students in and outside their premises. Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor Francis Eze, who disclosed this to newsmen who paid him a costly visit at the Citadel of Learning yesterday, noted that the activities of the headers is presently giving the students and staff of the school a lot of concern. The VC further stated that the herdsmen have also destroyed the crops planted in the school premises by each students. A female student of the school who do not want her name mentioned also alleged that they are afraid of moving around at night for fear of being harassed by the headers. Similarly, the VC has expressed his displeasure of court activities in the school, but noted that the security in place in the school have been doing a tremendous job. On encroachment of the school premises by the school's host communities, is a caution that if it continues, the host community might be losing economically. He informed that the school planned a befitting teaching hospital in the premises, which is said presently situated at about 4,500 hectares, but the encroachment is hindering its commencement. Schools are critical for individual development as they are the first place in which children undertake a formal learning process. This provides them with basic knowledge that enables them to develop skills they need to become successful and independent adults. Some factors within the school system influences the quality of education that students get. The report.
One of the major problems in school environments is bullying. It is not uncommon for some students to be beaten or insulted by other students. MCL News spoke to some students who highlighted their understanding and experience of bullying.
Bullying is one of those things we regard as juvenile delinquencies. So it is an inherent attitude in the younger ones everywhere.
In the aspect of teachers, there are little blame, quite all right, that when they don't guide these children very well, you get some lapses. When the teachers are not there, absent from classroom. But when these children are being guided from that morning they come to school, you maintain the school timetable. After this, the next teacher, after this, you find out that the students will be busy. They may not have time to fight, talk of bullying each other.
Bullying can just be the act of when ones that are older than you or senior you can beat you when you do nothing wrong.
Examples of behavior that can be termed bullying include derogatory comments, physical assault, social exclusion. The key factor is the existence of power imbalance between the perpetrator and victim. Some respondents who spoke to MCL News highlighted what should be done in order to prevent bullying.
A disciplinary committee or a serious task force that will check bullying in the school. And then from time to time, we summon the parents for a PTA meeting, during which we will table some of the cases of bullying. Parents have been supporting us to take some of those stubborn ones to the law enforcement agents. Some of them that have been proven unrepentant, despite warnings, we invite the police to take care of them.
Making sure they are in the class, maintaining the school timetable, making sure teachers are in the classroom, teaching them. Then during break, you still guide them, monitor them, guide them what they are doing, supervising them and directing them. Then stopping the senior ones from going into the junior ones class or going to their own direction.
What that should be done is just to try to teach or dialogue with the seniors, that they should be respecting or be associating goodly with the juniors, that they shouldn't be bullying them.
Let them take the young students as their brothers and stop bullying.
Appropriate measures and actions can be discussed and implemented in school system if bullying is identified. Individuals who experience bullying are considerably more likely to abuse others. Ogichukwu Abakoba, MCL News.
Abia residents have reacted on the increased rates of cybercrime amongst youths in the society. They describe cybercrime as a crime against humanity that is punishable by law and attributed to unemployment. Victor Akuma tells us more.
Cybercrime is a dubious means by which perpetrators use to extort money or other valuable information from people within and outside the country using a number of social media platforms like Yahoo Mail Messenger, Telegram, amongst others. There are, however, other local means by which cyber scammers, or Yahoo boys as they are popularly called, use to dupe people. These include threatening text messages and calls demanding that people should send their ATM card pins or risk having their accounts being defrauded. Some residents of Abia who spoke to MCL News on the ugly trend noted unemployment and get-rich-quick syndrome as some of the leading factors for the high rate of cybercrime amongst youth in Nigeria.
As these youths are pumping out, is there any industry to take care of them? And you know that the idle hand is the devil's workshop. So except we do the things to give them the future, it's likely to be indeed. It doesn't matter how many laws you do, because at times it will be better for one to die than to say he's obeying the law.
If government is sincere to themselves and create job for the youth, I don't think that they will venture into such acts, because every year we do have many students turning out to be a graduate but no job.
Regulatory agencies saddled with the responsibility of reducing crimes and checkmating cybercrime perpetrators have been advised to live up to their statutory roles.
For instance, I can talk about EFCC. They're not living up to my expectation. For instance, they only go for poor people. They're not going for the rich men, because if we are sincere to ourselves, some of our big men in our society today and some of the youth that is venturing into cybercrime, they will skip those people because they know that when they go through the back door, they will collect something that I'm not be able to mention, and they will free them. They are not living up to our expectation.
Once you create an agency, we have created an agency that will make money out of these boys. How many agencies have we created other than the police, and to what extent have they been able to curb the crime? Yeah, you see, you keep enriching people. When you create these agencies, you enrich them, and the things that is happening keeps happening.
Though government has been blamed for not providing adequate employment opportunities for the teeming population of young graduates in the country, but are the youths willing to spread their tentacles beyond what they have learned in the classroom? Respondents have this to say.
As a matter of fact, agriculture can take off 90% of the youth roaming the streets. But they have to be patient. When you go into agriculture, the benefits will not come over. It will take time to get there. But we have to start from somewhere. Let them look away from the bad examples we have in the society. Let them look away and look inwards. Then they come. Both the youth and the country will be better off.
My advice to the youth is that for them to look something lucrative and venture into, that they should abstain from that, because it's tarnishing their image.
Other respondents who spoke off camera said that with high rates of cybercrime, with its effect on the society, it has become imperative that government should strive to create employment opportunities by reviving moribund industries so as to meaningfully engage the youths, as an idle person is exposed to all sorts of crime. Victor Akuma, MCL News.
The Nigerian Air Force NGF has confirmed the crash landing of his helicopter on Thursday at his base in Enugu. A statement on Friday in NAF Twitter handle said that the incident occurred after a routine flight that though the blades of the helicopter broke, but there were no casualties. The statement said that the cause of the incident could not be ascertained. The base is close to Abia International Airport, where repair works have commenced after its closure in August this year. The report says that the scene of the crash was cordoned off as members of the public attempted to have full clear of the incident. Following today's governorship and senatorial run elections in Kogi State, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has taken delivery of sensitive materials to be used for the polls. It was reported that officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) were at the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) Lokoja to take delivery of sensitive materials. The State Resident Electoral Commissioner, the Commissioner for Police, party agents and security operatives were at the venue to witness the handing over of the electoral materials. The Residents Electoral Commissioner listed the sensitive materials and their destination, which challenged security agencies to safeguard the electoral materials. The Resident Electoral Commissioner also spoke about arrangements meant to ensure materials get to flooded communities like Basa and Ibaji local government areas, as well as Kutun Kafi. The materials will be distributed to the 21 local government areas of the states, from where they will be further distributed to various registration areas. About 1.6 million voters are expected to participate in the governorship election across the 21 local government areas of the states. In the fight against hate speech, the Senate has proposed a bill prescribing death penalty for hate speech offenders. MCL News went to town to feel the pulse of our residents who have mixed reactions over the proposed bill. The report.
According to the proposed bill, hate speech is defined as comments that insult people for their religion, ethnic, linguistic affiliation, and racial content, among others. The bill was sponsored by the Deputy Chief Whip of the Senate, Sabi Abdullahi, APC Niger North, was introduced and read for the first time in the upper chamber, provides life jail sentence or 5 years imprisonment depending on the degree of the hate speech. While some respondents who spoke to MCL News say that the federal government should help in improving the economy of the country instead of going after hate speech, others were of the opinion that the proposed death penalty by hanging as a punishment for violators, if passed into law, is not supported.
We're condemning it on the ground that it would encourage tyranny, because it would stifle free speech. People will always condemn. If you are doing what people don't want, they will always say it. But when you criminalize what people say, and if it is true, you know one thing about that hate speech, that it is not the defamation, the justification area is not very clear. Ordinary defamation law, if you speak evil against me, I will go to court and I will prove to the court that what you said is false against me. But under the issue of hate speech, it's not really material whether it is true or not. What is material is that it will bring the person to hatred. That bill will destroy Nigeria, and that act, when it is passed, will be used by tyrants to withdraw the civil power, because they will always clamp down on those who are fighting against them and say that they're using hate speech and put them in prison and lock them up forever.
They should be mindful of the Constitution. Our Constitution, section 35, section 36, section 34, we are clear. We have freedom of information. So if it's not contrary to the Constitution, I think they should have their way.
If it is libelous, you can now sue to court. So the law has taken care of that. I don't know what that means. In fact, it's embarrassing to the whole nation to hear of a hate speech commission or what a hate speech. The court is there to determine what is a hate speech. and not for the commission.
The respondent further said if passed into law will have negative effect on Nigerian citizens' fundamental human rights, which include freedom of speech, and urged governments to first of all eradicate poverty and provide basic amenities.
What I advise the government is what they should do. To invite, to bring a program, one, to eradicate poverty, two, to create employment. Yes, to create employment and enabling, environment for people to thrive.
Let them look for something serious. Solve the economic problem we are passing through here and forget about useless ventures that will not lead us to anything.
The Senate should reconsider that law. They should not allow that law to be. We have enough laws in Nigeria that will take care of that position. We have the defamation laws of other states. We have the defamation law of almost all the states in Nigeria. We have the criminal defamation laws of the Eastern Nigeria. We have the criminal code that criminal defamation. We have the NBC regulations. We have so many laws that will deal with this something. We don't need this.
Reactions has continued to try the proposed bill by the Senate at the state and national level. It is not the first time a bill on hate speech has been proposed. It will be recalled that in 2018, the hate speech bill was first proposed. Olomache Gesionu, MCL News.
Abia State government has declared Monday, November 18, 2019 as Work-Free Day. This is in commemoration of the posthumous birthday of the first president of Nigeria, Benjamin Azikiwe, released by the head of service, Harry Odo, stated that they will be work-free in the state and workers are expected to stay at home to observe the holiday. Recall that William Anambra State Governor has urged President Muhammad Buhari to declare November 16th, which is the birthday of Azikiwe, a public holiday. Meanwhile, Anambra University in Oka on Saturday held a lecture to commemorate his posthumous birthday. The lecture is an annual event in honor of Azikiwe, which the institution was named after. Government have adopted a staffer of the Nigerian Television Authority (NTA), Abiodun Adeniga, in his IP residence in Odubulu local government area of Ogun State. The Ogun State Police Command confirmed the incident. Adeniga was said to have been abducted around 10 p.m. on Wednesday at his residence when the gunmen held him at gunpoint and whisked him away. According to family sources, the abductors are demanding a ransom of 15 million naira for his release. It was gathered that the abductors had opened negotiations with the members of the family and had refused to reduce the ransom. Abimbola Ogeyemi, Ogun State Police Public Relations Officer, confirmed that someone was kidnapped in that area. He, however, could not ascertain who the abducted person was. Oyeyemi noted that the police are doing all that is necessary to ensure the victim is rescued and caught as soon as possible. Another foreign saying, President Donald Trump on Friday tweeted an attack against the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine while she was in the middle of testifying in his impeachment probe, prompting her to complain she was being intimidated. The president's furious tweet came as Marie Yovanovitch stated in the House of Representatives about her abrupt firing from her post in Ukraine following an alleged smear campaign by Trump's allies. Everywhere Marie Yovanovitch went storm bad, Trump said, finishing his tweet with a reminder that presidents have the absolute right to hire and fire ambassadors. Evidence to the extraordinary nature of the president, commenting on testimony against him in real time, Yovanovitch was asked to respond on live television. She called the tweet very intimidating. I can't speak to what the president is trying to do, but the effect is to be intimidated, she said. Trump suggested that her earlier work as a U.S. diplomat in Somalia was linked to the country's decades of catastrophic instability. The impeachment inquiry in the Democratic-controlled House of Representatives centered on accusations that Trump froze U.S. military aid in an effort to get Ukraine to launch political investigations against his potential 2020 election rival Joe Biden and his son Hunter. And that's what you can take on today's news segment. You're still watching Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCLT. We'll go for a break. When we come back, the program will continue. Just stay with us.
Stop breakfast show on TV. It's celebration time.
MCR TV celebrating the 10th anniversary of its popular breakfast program, Good Morning Abia.
You mean MCR TV Good Morning Abia is 10 years?
Yes, the program that discusses diverse issues every day, Monday through Saturday, 8 o'clock to 10 in the morning.
Social,
political,
cultural,
economic,
educative and trending issues.
MCR TV invites our friends and personalities who are featured on Good Morning Abia over the years. It will be exciting with moments to recall and celebrate.
It will be time to honor our regular guests, while pioneer guests will have the opportunity of appearing again on the program. The event will also feature the cutting of anniversary cake. MCR TV, the world in your home.
It's a celebration.
not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world wey people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we go do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCL TV.
Welcome to MCL Customer Care Service Information. Please listen to the following instruction upon observation of any of the following on your television screen. Bad signal. Kindly check the positioning of your antenna or system wire connections. Initial card failure or card error. Please remove and bring your smart card to the office. Once your subscription or time expires, program rewrite or time expired will appear on the screen of the TV set. If you pay for the renewal of a subscription, please leave it on channel 7 for a couple of minutes. When there is a heavy thunderstorm, unplug power cord from the socket. For more inquiry, call us on 080-3737-3985 or email on 080-6382-0685. Or you can call the technical department 081-4018-1602 or visit our accredited agents around the state.
Stop breakfast show on TV. Stop breakfast show on TV. on TV.
To answer your customer care service information, please listen to the following instruction upon observation of any of the following on your television screen. Bad signal. Kindly check the positioning of your antenna or system wire connection. Initial card failure or card error. Please remove and bring your smart card to the office. Once your subscription or time expires, further layout or time expired will appear on the screen of the TV set. If you pay for the renewal of a subscription, please leave it on channel 7 for a couple of minutes. When there is a heavy thunderstorm, unplug power cord from the socket. For more inquiry, call over on 080-3737-3985 or email on 080-6382-0685. Or you can call the technical department 081-4018-1602 or visit our accredited agents around the state. NCO, the word in your head.
Welcome back. And if you're just joining us, that's still good morning. Abia, your breakfast program on TV. Of course, this is the Saturday edition of the program. And I still have Stella Okichuku here with me. And of course, it's time for us to take a look at the papers. This morning we have 3 papers on our decks, and it started with the Daily Sun. The Saturday Sun. At the top corner of the paper, it is one will dismiss Article 6 against Buhari Supreme Court. Ex-Vice President PDP's lawyers boycott court as presidency reacts. And underneath that, it is 2022 presidency not in Igbo's interest. Only the President Akai Kenga, it is better in Northern succeeds Buhari and equity forms on page 39 and page 40 of the paper. On the left corner of the paper is global polls, security concerns in Kogi, Bayelsa as APC, PDP battles for votes. Government invades Governors Makinde's hotel in Lokoja. And of course, the big bold headline from the paper this morning. It is Kalu unveils fresh plans for Biafra battle to address Igbo on Radio Biafra today. While Igbo is being maltreated in Nigeria, Masol and BIN. And of course, that could be found on page 10 and page 46 of the paper. And close to that is Two-Face in Abia, and of course his former group, how do I say it? Well, let me go that straight to it and the way it is written here. Sue me or shut up. Two-Face, DS, Blackface in fresh messy fight. Of course, you know the two of them, the three of them, I beg your pardon, were the plantation boys before the group actually fell apart, and each one has to run a single race. Sue me or shut up. Two-Face, DS, Blackface in fresh messy fight. Of course, you and I know the story where Blackface claims as the African queen that shot Two-Face in Abia was his own rating and was ready to be produced by the plantation but before they fell apart, and Two-Face went single-handedly with that. Alright, photo under siege by herdsmen, BC cries out. That could be found on page 3 of the paper. Let's take you to the back page of the Saturday Sun, and of course the first point of call, it is the press clip coming from Mike away from, and it says, to a lady maiden, Igbo at 70. Mrs. Maiden Igbo with Mike away from, and of course it is the Igbo at 70. And of course at the top of that is America's diary, what will terminally ill people need during their final days. Why ladies should aspire for success before marriage, and that is coming from Kate Ali on Saturday Sun. And of course that will be found on page 47. Stella.
And of course the Nation newspaper this morning, the Nation newspaper has several headlines this morning, and it says at the top left, Edo APC crisis, World Council has vote of confidence in Oshomole. We will not abandon Obaseki, APC youth vow. We got the story on page 41 of the Nation newspaper. And of course, Abia Court affirms Okowa's election. That's the headline at the top of the right there. Delta Governor urges Oboru to join in with Jordan State. You got the story on page 41 of the Nation newspaper. The major headline in front of the Nation newspaper this morning says Bayelsa Kogi pulls APC PDP in verbal war as fear of violence spreads. The write-up, the first one says police deploy special forces, anti-terrorism squad in Bayelsa as 32,000 policemen, 15 CPs, 3 AIGs arrive states. The next write-up following the major headline this morning says we will conduct credible elections despite fears. INEC assures. The last write-up says appeal court restrains INEC from removing Bayelsa ABC candidates' name from ballots. And of course, read up the story on pages 2 and 5 of the Nation newspaper. And of course, there's a headline there that says our pains from Nigeria's border closure. Benin Republic traders lament bad times as petrol smugglers devise new ways of beating security checks. The story goes to page 13 and get the details. Underneath that, Ohanese Youth Obi Mon as pioneer president of Igbo FS Group dies. It's found on page 41. I'm moving down. While we passed articles appeal against Buhari's victory, says Supreme Court, says president is not obliged to present academic certificates to INEC, nothing to show that server from which appellant got his figures belongs to INEC. That is story on page 6 of the Nation newspaper. Underneath the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning, WAEC investigates 9,457 candidates as it releases WASI results. Go to page 8, get the story. We move straight up to the back page of the Nation. Schedule on illuminations, it says Professor Tam David West and the examined live. Well, the future ornament of David West, you can see him there. Go to the back page there and know what the headline is actually talking about. Moving down, celebrating mediocrity. Celebrating mediocrity is coming from Adele Ojekiri on Saturday. And of course, get the details of what that is talking about, saying celebrating mediocrity, and that does it with the Nation newspaper this morning.
And of course, the next point of call this morning is the Saturday Telegraph. At the top left corner of the papers is 2 died, scores injured, 17 vehicles shot, both in Ogun tanker accident. No casualty as NAF confirms helicopter crash in Enugu State. And of course, at the right top corner of the paper, it is Buhari's election while we dismiss Atiku's appeal by Supreme Court. And of course, that will be found on page 4 of the paper. The big bold headline, the D-Day in Kogi and Bayelsa. 2.5 million voters decide fate of 69 candidates. And of course, that will be found on page 23 and page 25 of the paper. Melaye battles Adeyemi orders for Kogi West senatorial slot. Masked security men storm Makinde Wada Hotel in Lokoja. And of course, we thought hoodlums were meeting at the hotel. The commissioner of police of that state. EU urges security agencies to be neutral. Police deployed 66,841 men to the states. 66,841 policemen. Well, of course, the picture there, animation, is something that, brings to mind who pulls who out of the line. And of course, on the right hand side, it is PDP and the APC. But the question is, what is happening to the other 96 political parties? That is food for thought. Underneath that, Kalu Tinubu orders mourn and they call Akinye's veterans, and that could be found on page 8 of the paper. Wayek releases 2019, I beg your pardons. Wayek releases 2019 second series results, records 35.1% pass, and that could be found on page 38 of the paper. And it's the financial autonomous state assemblies beg Buhari to issue executive order, and that could be found on page 10 of the paper. And of course, the back page of the Saturday Sun has to do with sports. We'll ask you meanwhile to hand on wings the top head when Chooks and Jonah Orji will be telling us what is up in terms when it comes to sport, and of course that's going to come in our program Sports Digest. I'm sure you want to keep a tab on that as well. Well, take bit of time for us to talk, and of course I still have Stella Okechukwu with me. Stella, anything that catches your fancy?
Yes, let's just first of all, say to those that most of the family members and the recent tanker crash, really say sorry to them, and of course to those that got injured but suffering from this. Why are we still experiencing such thing?
Good question. And that's where I want those watching this program to call us on the numbers on the TV screen and tell us. The first point of call I agree, Stella, with you is this. First, it happened in Lagos. And if you go back to the video, you will discover that the Social Orientation Commission is not doing so much. Our orientation needs to improve. I tell you right now, if a tanker falls in Abia, instead of people to run very far, you will see people trying to scoop the products. It has happened right here in the back.
We have National Education Agency.
We do. Growing up as a young man, I see a lot. I remember when Nigeria was 29, we are 29 ring the whole help Nigeria go, the futures in you see a lot of message. It doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't.
So you need to go to radio stations, television stations, and live people and all them. Once this happens, you need to stay away.
This TV station is not asking the National Education Agency to pay us. We're saying, bring your message. It is our social responsibility to make sure that the people get it. We don't get all those stuff. Even the chicken pox, the monkey pox, we did that ourselves. It should be coming from the National Education Agency.
But I also think that there should be a law that states that some of these tankers are flying in the night. I don't know, you've been in Lagos for several years.
Yeah, Lagos does that. Yeah. But you see, one of the greatest problems also, they've also complained, like in Lagos, after a series of traffic accidents and the rest, the then governor Ambode decided to come up with rules and say, none of these trucks will apply the road. When you see them apply, the road should be from 7:38 p.m. And of course, that's when it will take off. But they've also complained that they've been attacked in the nights.
Okay.
And so you see, it has its advantage and it has its own disadvantage because they don't go with security. And so sometimes they attack them, they scoop their product, they do all those stuff. Some people have lost their containers with vehicles because they have to apply in the night. The truth of the matter is the National Orientation Agency has to do a lot. And we're saying, how can? The funny part is, it happened in Onitsha. We thought that state governors and all the people involved or other states would adhere and find a lasting solution. And now it is happening right there in
response is right.
So I think
there's the expectations. We're talking about
and one of these, I tell you, one of the problems that is coming up with these has to do with bad roads as well. Even though tanker drivers has a lot, have you seen their tires? And I keep asking, what is the road safety bill?
That is also what we're saying.
What is the road safety bill?
The National Education Agency, collaborates with some of these agencies, to tell people tell us the expiry date of each tires. They work with them.
The road safety bill, I believe if you drive your car, if you drive your car from here to Umuahia, believe me, the road safety is going to stop you. The only time you might want to get a kind of if the MCL sticker because they believe that's stopping you exactly. But what we're saying is they're quick to attack private citizens. The commercial people are not part of the hook. When was the last time a road safety flagged down a tanker driver and said, look at your tire? They don't even have friction, they're completely gone. And so the road safety too is not doing so well, especially this festive season. Why would Nigerians lose their lives and their properties over the negligence of one man?
Another also factor, yes, in as much as I agree with that, that road is also contributing to the fall of some of these tankers. Their drivers also need to, assist themselves.
It still goes down to road safety
before we change the road.
It still goes down. I get to ask this question. I was talking to somebody the other night and I said, have you taken the current trend? In the early 80s and 70s, growing up as a young boy, you see men driving trailers, experienced men. But I tell you right now, once you see a trailer go past you, you see a young boy of 17 and 18. I've also noticed it. And the question is, are they fit to drive? I'm not saying driving at an early age is wrong, but are they fit to drive? The road range is there. The road range is there. You see that the youthful exuberance comes to play and the rest. And we say, what is the road safety doing? This can't be happening. And so we're saying the federal government and state government to look into it and try to find a lasting solution. But I know and I beat my head that God will never allow such happening in Abia State. Alright, quickly, BNA 2.5 million voters decide fate of 69 candidates, and of course it's going to be clash of the titans as Kogi and Bayelsa goes to polls. Stella.
The INEC is now promising us that they will have a credible election despite fears. I will be getting the assurance from them. I will be getting assurance in that.
Where I think a lot of
I wouldn't want you to say that there is no perfect election. Okay, but the one that is happening in Nigeria is so much. Okay?
We're still living in as a nation. We're still growing. Nigeria is still young. We're just 29 years old, and let's hope.
I know all of you would have started to say that we're still young.
We're still young. We're still best, because if you take a look at the military intervention and the rest, and we're still growing. Our democracy is still very low. We'll get there. I'm very positive. But where I think a lot of Nigerians will want to raise an eyebrow or find INEC incompetent if INEC comes up with inconclusive election. Because a lot of Nigerians have spoken in the past to say one of the greatest problems is when people come out en masse to vote, and at the end of the day you come up to say that election was inconclusive. So we say INEC, Nigerians are charging you to say come up with a conclusive. But believe me, I'm one of INEC #1 fan, and I believe that INEC will definitely come up with a result. If not more, when that of the Abia State election, of course, INEC came up with a result, and of course today we have an emerging government. Hopefully, other elections will also come in, and those aspiring to take one position will definitely have their way, because believe in INEC, and that's the way to go. All right, we just gotten enough from the director of this program to say our guest is here, so let's not waste any further time. Let's go for a break, and when we come back, it's time for us to talk. And this morning we'll take a look at the hate speech, and also we want to dive into other issues, and I'm very sure that our guest will be here to talk on those issues. Let's go for a break.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
It's celebration time.
MCR TV celebrating the 10th anniversary of its popular breakfast program, Good Morning Abia.
You mean MCR TV Good Morning Abia is 10 years?
Yes, the program that discusses diverse issues every day, Monday through Saturday, 8 o'clock to 10 in the morning.
Social,
political,
cultural,
economic,
educative, and trending issues.
MCR TV invites our friends and personalities who have featured on Good Morning Abia over the years. It will be exciting with moments to recall and celebrate.
It will be time to honor our regular guests, while pioneer guests will have the opportunity of appearing again on the program. The event will also feature the cutting of anniversary cake. MCR TV, the world in your home.
It's a celebration.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world wey people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make you do for this world?
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is the Saturday edition of your breakfast program, Good Morning Abia, and of course it's time for us to talk. This morning we'll be taking a look at the bill that came up this week when the Senate decided to bring to the fore of the House on the hate speech bill, and of course to discuss with us this morning is a human rights activist, is a legal practitioner, not facing this program, Barrister Emperor Obona. Barrister, good morning. It's nice to have you on the breakfast program.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Abia.
Well, before we actually go down into the nitty-gritty of our discussion this morning, how was it like coming to the studio this morning?
Well, it was not very good. You know, I was just started when I had to pass through the first road. The first road was already known. And I was just imagining how much money I was spent fixing that road, and now the thing has crashed. You know, during the week I had to talk with one of the commissioners in Abia State, and I was telling him about the way they are fixing it at the park. I told them it doesn't make sense to start fixing road and the thickness of the road is just like this. Make the thickness bigger so that the thing can last. It's not good to do a road 3 months after it just crashes again. It doesn't like we're wasting our money. So when I was called, it wasn't very palatable, but I'm over here.
Right, of course, and you know the commissioner also had given his opinion on the first road, and he said that definitely the road will be fixed. So let's keep our finger crossed, and hopefully that the government of the day will have to find a lasting solution to Fox Road. All right, you heard the hate speech bill, proposed hate speech bill. When you heard that bill, what ran into your mind?
It is what we call misplaced priority. Misplaced priority, you know, what's happening in Rwanda many years ago when the moderate Hutus and the Tutsis were having their problem, whereby a radio station was established by the Hutus, and they were actually, no, by the Tutsis, and they were actually killing the Hutus. They were calling them Kukushes. And then the radio station was disseminating hate speeches, and people were killing people and everything. So every country that wants to have a way to emulsify and try to masticate or whatever you use to call it, the press or the freedom of expression, they are now far away making regards to what happened in Rwanda. Because that Rwanda issue was actually a breakdown on one another. In Nigeria we have the NBC and everything. So when I heard about the history, it also mean that it is a misplaced priority. The truth about it is that we have more persons in Nigeria. In as far as I really want, there's nothing wrong with the bill on hate speech, but it is defining what is hate speech and the penalties provided. That is the one that I guess.
And so let me ask you that again now. How would you also describe what is hate speech?
Well, hate speech is any speech, either in writing or written or in sign languages, whereby you subject a people, a person, to ridicule, to hatred, and to mockery, and also to or maybe a tribe, or maybe an ethnic group, or maybe a country. Any people or any person, you subject him to hatred in the eyes of our people society. Like when hate speech is more different from that information. Information is when you see something and do about somebody, you know. And there are some words which can do that when you talk about retreat, or maybe marriage, or chastity, or any of those things. If you say something negative and not true about somebody, it can be regarded as a defamatory statement. You have to make sure you have to talk about slander and libel. Slander is when you say it in your mouth. Libel is when you write it down. But hate speech is a little bit talking for that. But not only are you saying anything or true about that person, but you are
we are saying things that will actually jeopardize that person's life, or maybe bring the person to hatred or much ridicule. So what is the true test of determining hate speech? The true test is actually publishing. Is it false and with another person who you want to say about that person, who that person in hatred. That is actually the trend there. The word there is hate speech, hate. With that statement you make about the third party, will this subject that person to mockery, to hatred, to disability, to discrimination? That's actually the word. But ultimately, it's not really so easy to know the distinction between defamation and hate speech. That is why people like us are saying that law of hate speech is not really necessary. Because we have the information laws in Nigeria. We have the other information law of Lagos State 1999. We have the Criminal Code Act, which makes for criminal information. We have the Penal Code, which provides for criminal information. We have the Constitution of Nigeria, which provides for right to freedom of speech and also within limitation. We also have NBC, which actually regulates information disseminated by the media. So you see that we have a lot of laws that will actually deal with what we call hate speech, But so certainly, in all amount of honesty, there is no true distinction between what you call hate speech and what you call information. Let me say, maybe information will be individual. Because when I was reading that law, I discovered that the law was very more on paper, not individual. Maybe the distinction between hate speech and information is individual. If I defend you, you sue me to court and you claim damages. But from what I saw when I was trying to read that law online, the draft of that law, I saw it was mostly dealing with a group of people. A group of people, maybe the Igbos, the Yoruba's, the Tom people, the Bebe people, When you start making a statement that would subject the people to hatred, then you cannot call it hate speech. But before that, there's still joint action. So even in the medical matter, you can still jointly sue. Assuming you made a statement that will disparage the Igbos. The Igbos have made a class action against you for that. But maybe that was where the hate speech comes in. So the little distinction I understand from hate speech is that the relation this mostly is individual. But hate speech this mostly with a class of people. That is actually what I understand. Okay. Let's go back and look at this critically, and so that might lead us to get a positive answer from you. Yes. Sometimes people say, my mom will always say, when somebody say nonsense, why not take the sense and throw away the norm? Don't you think that if this bill finally comes to be, it kind of guide our utterances, both politicians and individuals? Don't you think so? Well, the truth about it is that it will not. Let me say what I say, it will not. Correct. The bill is an effort to Chapter 4 of the Constitution that provides for freedom of expression. Now, if every Nigerian has a right to say what you want to say, you have the right to say anything you want to say, everything in life you have the right to say it. You see, that's the law I call the law of sedition. The law of sedition is that if you speak anything against the government, like President Bazoum, I am here and I say something against you, or I say something against you, the law of sedition is that if I say anything that will bring the president of the government to ridicule or to hate, that they will be arrested and I'll be prosecuted. But in the case of a trumpet, in the case of Akawako versus trumpet, there is one newspaper called trumpet. In that case, Akawako was charged to court for making a sedition statement. The court said that sedition in Nigeria is inconsistent with Chapter 4 of the Constitution. That every Nigerian has the right to criticize the government. If the government is going to rule, you criticize him. That's what I'm saying. So in that case, the Court of Appeal ruled that sedition is no longer a part of our law. Now, this hate speech is more like smuggling in that sedition into our law again. Secondly, the hate speech is inconsistent with the Constitution. Because when you are defending somebody, if I say something against you that is not right, you have to sue me in court and claim damages. Now, the situation, look at the worst part. Let me tell you why that hate speech is dangerous. Let me tell you why it's dangerous. I have a time to look at that law. The law says that when you make a hate speech, you are found guilty, you pay 10 million fine. You also, if you also pay your fine, let me read out to you what the law says. The law says that if you're found guilty, Of course, there's a life sentence, there's a death penalty, there's a 10 million naira fine. For the death part of the death penalty, if the casualty, the person you're using the hate speech decides to commit suicide or dies out of that, of course, you would also have to go by death penalty. So what's your take on that?
Yes, now see, if I say something and somebody is killed based on it, you don't need law of hate speech. You charge me for murder. Let me tell you why. The law says anybody who unlawfully killed another. And how do you kill somebody? You go back to section 7. So 7 of the Constitution of the Criminal Code provides for parties to an offense. The person who did the actual act, the person who aided the actual act, the person who procured, we go to the 7th offender, the person who procured another. If I tell Mr. A, this one is bad and I do something and the person is killed, by law, that person's statement can be used as a procurer or as an offender. I don't know what I'm saying. So killing somebody in law is not just using their life and killing. But the person who is killing is there. The person that do something that led to that person's death is there. The person that aggravated no is there. And the person that procured is there. Because section 7A, 7B, 7C, and 7D offenders. Now, so when it comes to it, it's usually that issue of taking now, this issue that is about somebody, and somebody deliberately kills himself. Because what I said. Now, I don't think that I have not seen any idea that this is the criminal offense. And that really the girl is very, let me tell you what. Actually, a girl falls in love with me. And I don't know, I'm telling her, leave me alone. She refused to leave me alone. I tell her one day, you're off to me. And that's why I can't even marry you, go. The girl will go home and kill herself. You come and kill me. Kill me because of what I told you. Every person, the matter is to tell you that self-preservation is the first law of nature. If the person kills himself, how is that business without respect? You know, it's not what I'm saying. If the person that telling someone don't like, what is used to use the avenues of law to attack me? I'm not to go and kill yourself. I'm not kill yourself before I kill you because of what I told you. So what I'm saying is, if the third party believes in what I say and cares, you can charge the person under the section 7D, A or B or C or D offender in the criminal code. But if somebody kills himself and you are holding the person's against statement, it takes law to the level of ridiculousness. So what I'm saying that bill is actually a repetition of what we already have.
Okay, a lot of people have talked about section 39. Of course, you've also put your voice in it, but I need to get a big state opinion from you of Nigerian 99 constitutions and when it guarantees freedom of Nigerian citizens, so freedom of expression, including the right to uphold opinions and receive and impart ideas and information without interference. Does this law affect the 39 Constitution?
Yes, it does.
39 Constitution.
The law is an affront to the Constitution of Nigeria.
Does that mean because you have a freedom of expression, so you begin to malign people?
No, that's not what I'm saying. You already have the law. That law is an absolute law. If you look at section 39, it doesn't give an absolute right to freedom of expression. You have the right to say what you want to say. Your right to say what you want to say stops at my rights. Also, when I say that I have my own right, if you defend me, I'm going to come and see you. That's the truth. Now let me tell you why this law is very dangerous. Let me tell you why it's dangerous. And it's a record, I want to be a record. Now, as I am now, I'm mental. Anybody who knows me that I'm a critical person, I'm a critical of government. Now, I say something that the government does not like. You know what the government will do? He will be good to arrest me. When he arrests me, because the offense is a very big offense, the government will say, let me charge you to court. They charge you to court. You will deny him bail. On the ground that the offense is a felony, they will deny him bail. And I will manage the custody. I'll be custody for the next 4 years when the government is governing until the February expires. And they come out and not prescribe me or he may prescribe me. By that time, I will lock up what I'm to do. Now, do you lock me up? Nobody will work for me. Then I say, well, he's in prison now. Nobody is anything for him. His activism has ended until he comes out. Just like the Suki is in prison. We don't even know when the Suki will come out. The one we're seeing is that now they want to give so we know the Suki and the executive treatment. So what I'm saying is that law is not good. It's a conflict and let me tell you that some of the critics of the government have said that law is a list of attractive people. Let me tell you, I'm not saying it's so, but that's what the critics say. Let me tell you what the leaders to have that law. Actually, the government decided to go to manipulate the constitution to give himself a method. And we as Nigerians will say, we don't want this. The government will just use the hate speech and the rest of us, close in prison, and we don't get the rights. If we say, what is good, it's not good, people say, because if somebody is killed in Ghana, they'll come and arrest me like that, say, we'll come and arrest me on television, that the prison should not run. Because the government wants to
say now that when somebody dies out of it, and the money in custody, then will not be granted to me because normally the court doesn't really grant bail when it comes to capital offences. Then will not be granted because of the fact that I say, Mr. President, what if this job will be done, they want to protect them? They will be in prison, and I'll be in prison all my life, and my enemies will be just about it. So yes, this bill is simply a way of silencing Nigerians for speaking. What about today? Borders are being closed. The borders are closed. Rice is now past 7,000 naira. People are no longer happy. The cost of living in Nigeria, people are not smoking rice in their body. Then they are going to the people. Not even they are suffering. And then you are putting their rice, simple rice. And custom was blazing them. It's the shame of the custom. When your people, you are not smoking rice to eat. Even the local rice is not about. But why don't they buy the rice? The 200 rice is 2,000 naira. 400 rice, 28. That was last week. Now, how many people in Nigeria can afford to buy a bag of rice to start by? How many people? Look at the people that took 2,000 naira. So see that the policy of the government is trying to put the hunger. And if I come on air, or I put my wall on Twitter, or I put my Facebook wall, and I post anything against the government will arrest me and throw me in prison. And maybe you somewhere like for something. They don't want people out connected to what I'm saying. They'll just say, Mr. Ahmadu Shaibu in Metawa State died. They don't want to say that. But I'm chatting about it.
Okay, let's look at this because a lot of people want to get clarification from this, and of course, as a women rights activist and a legal practitioner, I'm sure you should be able to give us the answers. Is it a case of the government in power, or that of the traumatized people, or of the National Assembly, or the court, or that of the executive, who is in charge to say this is a hate speech and you must go for it?
Well, whenever you find this committed, the first thing is that the victim or anybody involved will write to the police. But what I say is that they don't have a hate speech agency.
Yeah, the National Commission for
Hate speech. They write to the agency, say, please, this person, don't do it for me. And then the person will be arrested. When he's arrested, he's going to be investigated. After investigation, the agency is a part of the executive. It's part of the agency generally. So they will now charge the person to court. When they tell you the person will defend himself in court and the judiciary will find you guilty. Yes. But let me tell you, the truth about that, it is the judiciary that finds you guilty, but the executives don't go to court. You understand me? The law can't tell you the law, the judiciary finds people, the executive investigate the matter and they charge people to court, and the law and the court finds people guilty. But the danger of that law is that we are not talking about finding you guilty. We're talking about using the put you away. Okay, let us look at what's happening to Showore. Showore declares the position now. No position, we don't talk about it. They arrested him. They took him to court. The court have ordered that he should be arrested. He is under the court's order. And he arrested and released. The DSS have served the court of the court. They refused to release him. Now, I went to Jungle. Can this thing happen? Look at what was supposed to do. Then the court called the Ukraine president asking him to disgrace somebody. That is what people are preaching. As of yesterday, they found the person who threw lights in front of them. What they deserve them. They found him. They sentenced him. He was found guilty. After today, six allies of top are already punishing in prison, including his best man and the captain director and the deputy. They are all punishing in prison because of what has been coming to. But in Nigeria here, you see, a court to read an order, the prison will put your mates. I don't know the trouble. Now, if you bring in this first speech, I'm telling you the truth. We are bringing in decree 2. We are bringing in decree number 2 of 1984. That's tied the press. You are a press man, you say to the government, the government, the next day, we will arrest you and put you in prison. They give you the individual treatment. That is just what is going to happen. So, that law, it will be used by the government to break Nigeria under suppression. That is why we say we don't want it.
Okay, that's why we say we don't want it, but of course what we share here is that of course we want you to call in on the program. That's why we want you to call, and of course the numbers will be on the TV screen. Please call us, tell us your opinion. Of course, this morning taking a look at the proposed bill against hate speech, and the number to call is 08177457728. Alright, Mr. Emperor, I want to read what your senior colleague talking about, the senior advocate of Nigeria, talking about Mike Ezokomi, and says criticizing the bill is ill intention, ill conceived, ill digested, and ill packed. Is where they said that the bill
will make a nonsensical legislation waiting to consume all of us. Do you agree? 100%. 100%. See, let me tell you what about governance. Governance is not a Frankenstein monster. When Shomori was campaigning for Buhari, it was really his right to campaign for Buhari. People like us, the matter Shomori has been my personal friend. I have talked with him several times, and I told him personally that this Buhari we are campaigning for, that we all know him that he's not a Democrat. So Shomori was saying, Jonathan will be chief, Jonathan this, all those things. To the end, Buhari bring the power. Now that's one warning I gave to Shomori. Today, Shomori is in prison, and not because he's in prison, because of orders is the DSS refused to listen. That is how life works. It's a Frankenstein monster. Those who are passing that law tomorrow, the law will still be used against them. That is one bad thing about bad laws. It's like a Frankenstein monster. John Frankenstein. I want that movie where I was traveling somewhere from Frankenstein to the 16-hour drive, 16-hour flight. I watched the movie. John Frankenstein was killing people. When he killed people, he brought so many numbers of people, and he joined them together. I was able to, by science, he built like that. One hand will be Mr. A, and one hand will be Mr. B, one leg will be Mr. B. He joined it together and fronted the monster. And that monster was killing people. After the monster had killed people, one of them, there was nobody to kill again. The monster turned around and killed Dr. Frankenstein. It's an old movie. You need to watch it. That's not what happens in this game. The people not believe this game. The executive is hiding towards the APC and using water to bring this bill. But I'm telling you, that what this bill will be used to swallow the basket. But after the thing, the legislature say that the bill is just passing its first reading. But the bill is that about bill that way should just go. So what I'm saying is that the bill is a Frankenstein monster which can consume anybody, including the president. Because let me tell you, assuming Buhari has over his today, the new person can use it against Buhari and his group. That is how life works. After all, EFCC was established by Obasanjo and the PDP people. Today, 99% of those who are there at the EFCC are from the PDP. So that is how life works. So when you bring in some things, the case is good law, but when you bring in some bangles, those who go to those bangles will also become victims of the same bangles. Okay, Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights guarantees freedom to uphold opinions without interference and also to seek, receive, impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of any frontiers. That is the law. Of course, Nigeria is also part of that law. But the question is, don't you think that when we regulate the social media, you and I know that talk is cheap, and of course these days once you can afford to get yourself 100 naira, you can get a data of 100 naira and you can post whatever you think you want to post. Don't you think this law will also checkmate, especially the social media? The social media, the government already said that they're going to bring in social media bill to control the social media. The truth is that there is no country in the world where you see anything. But even China regulated social media. In China, the WhatsApp and Facebook has been regulated. Just here in the Republic, the WhatsApp and Facebook has been regulated. So what is bad if the country or those in power decide to check? Sorry, I don't understand. I remember that what happened to Dubai. My WhatsApp refused to work. In Dubai, there are some pictures you don't search for. Like pornographic materials, you don't search for them in Dubai. Once you try, they say we just show you that this content is not allowed in this country, just be there. Now, China also have so many things that you regulate. But the key about it is that those countries you put are totalitarian countries. Dubai is a Muslim country. Dubai, women are not allowed to do so many things. Dubai, if I want to bring beer, say I want to bring beer. The other day I was in Dira Park and we went for a party, all of us. You know, when we travel about, we just enjoy ourselves. When we went there, we said we don't have beer. In the end, to down drink beer, to go to the backyard to drink it. That is a Muslim country. I have to respect their laws. But in China is a communist country. We all know China is a communist country where the government regulates everything you do. Even the number of children you have. The government regulates the number of children and says you must have only one child. If you want to have two, you can have two, but you pay some government some amount. But if you want to have three, you go to prison. But China has the number. So what I'm saying is that the countries you mentioned are Canadian countries. But you compare the countries to America, which is a free country, like England. like Italy, like Germany. These are free countries. All these two countries don't have laws of written distance. Let me tell you the truth, sir. We are not saying that it is not right to regulate expression of people into that extent. If the other day I was on Facebook, somebody, I put a man, a government official, this was what I was wrong. I went on Facebook and I posted this. One of his media is came on air and said lambasting me. Said posting things about me. If you written things about me that I not do, and this is not his speech as well. Yes, I have to report to Facebook. Facebook banned him for some time. Then his brother had to call me to apologize. So what I'm saying is that not a hate speech? Yes, but I have a now, or is that what this bill is trying to? He doesn't say I have a what happens to the ordinary man that doesn't have a remedy for, like you have, or the knowledge that you have? What happens to the next? There's a remedy everywhere. That's what I'm saying. And then it's only now. So we have the legal aid council. The legal aid council is set up by the government to take care of those who are poor. If you are poor, when I petition to the legal aid council, the office is no mine. When I petition to them, say, this is what I did, I don't have money to prescribe it. The legal aid will take it up and prescribe it for you. So it is not true. The high cost procedure rules provides for in Nigeria. In fact, now, have you sent somebody? Yes, sir. I said we are not that something might not happen, but you and I know that sometimes the system could be a bit funny. Yes. And you get there, you are told it's free, and at the end of the day, you have to. Let me tell you something. Of course, you and I see everyone go to the police station, but bail is free. But you know, you and I know that doesn't happen. Well, that is systemic failure. But the system, that is systemic, that is the system. But on top of administration, what you have in Nigeria, I have a friend who works in the legal aid. In fact, the wife of Barrister, one Barrister, my children, she's a big woman. Actually, I know her, but I don't think she wants to legal aid. The legal aid is about, there's this other female lawyer that is always coming to court. She's working with the legal aid. We have lawyers in legal aid, no matter. Just like them, we take up a proof without payment. I'm not aware that the last one I did, they didn't refer the case to me. I did the case with them. They were not coming well. They didn't do the case each and each other. I didn't know where everything was paid. There's also, if you look at the high cost procedure rules, if you want for proceeding in permanence, there's a way we get it. Proceeding in permanence. What does that mean? Permanence means a formal. The high court rules provide that if you want to sue and you don't have money, you just show up to the judge and communicate to the chief judge. My lord, I don't have money. You be like, well, this is how much I have, this is my salary. I don't have money, I won't go to sue. The chief judge will give you what happens is that they won't bring to you. You file your suit, free. This is the high court rules. Maybe the problem is that you don't really know that the system has allowed for instance. So if they come and just communicate to the chief judge, but I don't know that. But I don't have to I don't have money. As soon as you do that, they won't bring to you. You file your suit. So you file your suit and the law asks you to the law will need assign a lawyer. Most times I go to court, a judge will see me, Emperor, please, this man is the poor man, handle his case. I will take it up. That's what we do every day. I'm taking up many cases that promote patterns. But once the case is called up, the judge will beg you, say, Emperor, please, I want to handle this man, he's the poor man and he's the reason. I'll tell you to come, let's finish go. You go ahead. Why? You can't something. The lawyer is also the money. So what I'm saying is that if somebody goes on social media to defame me, I will go to call another person for information and I will get evidence. And even if it's a criminal or information, I will write the petition against the police. Police will arrest you when you start talking. Start talking is a grant of Nigerian law. Is it not true? Start talking is a grant of Nigerian law. Cyber Act. It's also the Cyber Act also. It's also a crime under Nigerian law. We have so many laws that deals with this thing. So what I'm saying is that it's an implication to start passing this law. We have enough facilities to and we have in Nigeria a lot of people die because of one purpose. But I don't really see anybody taking this too serious. When you do anything in the internet nowadays, people look at it critically. No, people in Nigeria don't look at the internet and say it's just true. When you do something, someone will ask you link. Give us the link. No, people don't know if this is nowadays on the internet unless you newcomer. But if you are old man like me, when you see something on the internet, you want to investigate it. You want to Google it to know that's true. So people like you don't publish what you want to publish and publish something against me. I have the right to go against the police. I can go to cyber stalking, I can go to cyber act, I can go to criminal codes and criminal information, or I can sue you. There are many ways. If the criminal is determined, they also have the right to go to the National Broadcasting Commission and write a decision against that television station or radio station that they say. And the research, you know what I'm saying, it happens. Yeah. Every time you look at what when it comes to, I don't know, I'm coming, sir. Even the Human Rights Commission. The Human Rights Commission is also there. I have a situation whereby I have a client, one GS but you will come out. This woman was threatened by a former staff of Bazoum government. He called me before and threatened him that she should not have anything against the government who can see Bazoum on Facebook. They don't care. In the end, petition complaint was taken. In the end, the young man had to go to the National Human Rights Commission, and the thing was done. DSS even invited him and said they will protect him. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying that there are conditions to say that all these things when people are being threatened. So it is not right to just come and start saying you want to make hate speech and using against the political opponent. The law provides for how to deal with all these things.
Okay. Well, the law has a way of dealing with all these things. So are you saying if the hate speech commission is finally given the nod to start up, are you saying that commission should not hold?
I'm not saying if you want to hold, but the commission is useless. Let me tell you this one now. We have,
business.
Let me tell you why. We have the National Human Rights Commission. I hope you know about that. That National Human Rights Commission was set up to fight against what? Against dictatorship. The Human Rights Commission is from the law, very, very powerful. But what has the commission done for Dasuki? No, I'm asking. Maybe the collapse will answer me. Dasuki was arrested. Several courts have ordered that he should be released. We tell them, check this back to court. Up to now, nothing has been done. We also have exactly so many courts have ordered his release. Now, we have the National Human Rights Commission. What have they done to stop the president, to make the president to release his will? So you see that commission is useless as far as I'm concerned. It's very, very much useless. A commission that cannot protect Nigerians against irrational government, against direct government. Look at you in New York State, in Cross State. Then one journalist have gotten his name. He was arrested that way because he went against the governor. And he's sitting in prison. He was not what I'm talking about. One journalist in New York State. He was already about there, so I can't what is them. What is the Human Rights Commission doing? One court orders. Okay, look at show you. Show that it was a lead by Justice Teacher.
I should be asking you that you're a human rights activist. So what are the human rights activists doing? You mustn't be in River State for you to react.
Okay, let me tell you what we're doing. On my own person, we abuse something. On my wall, anybody who goes to my wall, it shouldn't be wrong. Now, even on television, on court, I have to do this how I have against government. I have been fighting cases in court against government. I fight cases every day to government to tax some laws and everything. Right now, the one I'm doing now is the one I'm trying to stop the arresting people by the health court, so I can't have court in the United States. They're arresting people on health and challenging them in court. I have two cases, I have no people and I'm outside. High court matters. Some of them are coming against you.
Okay, this is also the text coming from Uzoma because I really appreciate your opinion and so far. And it says, but let me quickly warn that this maverick and intolerant government cannot be trusted by any sane person to offend any operate such a draconian piece of legislation introduced under a law that carries death penalty for alleged hate speech. Do you agree with him?
I agree with him. It doesn't make sense for you to kill a man because another person killed himself. Everyone has a duty to protect himself. And that's suicide is a crime. Now somebody shall say something to you, you gotta kill yourself and you can't go there. It's wrong. If I sin against you and it's not you sue me. And not to kill yourself and let the person else. Okay. If the serious word can be abused totally.
Okay, this is also coming from Chooks, but I'm sure this was said the last time this discussion came up. But let me just take it if you have a different opinion. He says, he sees nothing wrong with having a hate speech commission, but the bottom line is if you need to start up something, you need to get those that are involved in the past to apologize. Of course, you and I know that the presidency one time used the hate speech to say the bloods on the baboon and the rest, okay? And he went further to talk about Aerofy, the governor of Kaduna State, that there are a lot of people, the body governments, and he says if they come out and apologize, I'm sure that will kick off the beginning of the hate speech campaign. Do you agree with him as well?
I agree with him too. You see that it's not a one-way issue. People in Nigeria, those in government, used to see that they have been talking hatred.
I think the politicians are also the perpetrators of hate speech.
They are doing the campaign, they say so many things that are nasty. I didn't know the campaign. Where you keep accusing Jonathan, accusing the government of everything. Every small thing in Nigeria, you say the last government did. You don't want to accept responsibility. Everything you say you should do not do that. Somebody like Bushumuri going to America to start saying that somebody accusing the government officials that they stole. So what I'm saying is when you make statement that will bring people to hatred, it is hate speech. If they say something you're not sure of, But as I said earlier, you have the right to go to court and sue. Let me tell you why I don't like this law. They say they want to submit the National Human Rights Commission. Okay, they say they want to submit the Federal Commission. In the end, what happened? There's a Federal Rights Commission. But we all know that in Nigeria today, northern Nigeria is controlling 90% of the security apparatus in Nigeria. Is it also? Although the chief of staff, the chief of defense staff, the chief of air staff, everyone is the police, the DSS, the Navy, but everybody is lost. Is it wrong to have, I mean, the emperor, let's use your chamber. Yes. As if you decide to go for certain lawyers that you think that will give the result, and those lawyers decide to come from the west, will you say you're being tribalistic? I will have people. What is wrong in having the chief of staff, the chief of naval staff, and all the chiefs or joint chiefs to come from the north? If that's the people that will give Nigeria the result, what is wrong with that? Don't you think our problem about being tribalistic? No, about tribal. It's not that sentiment. So let me tell you something. Nigerian law, section 15 of the law, so provides that the government of Nigeria shall be run in an all-inclusive manner. The Constitution also provided for Federal Commission. The Constitution was clear that you don't want the government to be alright, sorry before we take that. Now let's quickly go for a break, and when we come back, the program will not be continuous. Please just stay with us. Welcome back, and if you just join us, this is still Good Morning Abia, your breakfast program on TV. And of course, we're taking a look at the proposed bill against hate speech. And of course, sitting with us this morning to discuss on this issue is a human rights activist and a legal practitioner, Barrister Emperor Mbona. Alright, welcome back, sir. Yes, I was telling you that the Constitution of Nigeria provides for issue of federal character. The Constitution of Nigeria says that the government of Nigeria should not be run in a manner that will exclude any particular group. Now, the Federal Character Commission is also a commission that was set up by the Constitution to ensure that government agencies and government, that the run of government is an all-inclusive government. Now, let me tell you something. There is no place where we will not see people who are qualified. Let's come back to the states. As you know, the governor of other states now, and I want to know about the states, there are so many people that are intelligent. I have traveled out and I've seen Ngwa people. Every time I travel to America, nobody stays in Ngwa people's houses. They are very intelligent. We also have people from Ngwa who are very intelligent. We also have people from Britain, you know, alive who are very intelligent. My duty is to bring the best from Ngwa, bring the best from Britain, bring the people from alive, bring one from the government. It will be wrong for me to concentrate my government for my own people, because they are people I trust. When I do that, the Ngwa man will look at it that I am an enemy of the Ngwa people, and they will frustrate my government. That is how life works. That is how life works. The whole security, you see the police. Okay, I think we have okay, do you know that civil defense, one man that I think we don't know something with his men. He was the one who was supposed to be the head of civil defense. But they retired him and put another idea. Look at the police. One man in the woman was supposed to be a DIG. There were none of them. The guy was going to put another man. All of them. I don't want to go too far. Right now, 97% of the security is controlled by the north. And you're telling me there's something wrong with it. What is true about, okay, let me ask you, these people now, go to them. It's one of them that want to speak good English, to be honest. The northern Nigeria is lacking when it comes to education. And that is why the country is moving backward. Don't you also see that can be regarded as a hate speech? It's not, no. It's a fact. It's a fact. As you come to a conclusion, we all know. I don't know. Okay, let me tell you why I say so. I know. When it comes to the issue of cut-off point, the cut-off point for schools in the south here, maybe 101 or something. But in Zamfara State and the north, you see 2, 3. That was verifiable. Even last year, Mr. Makoma to go to court to ask the court to stop the issue of selective fees. So that one is there. 2, when it comes to the issue of terrorism, I was talking to the soldier last week. He told me that what they do in the military, that when they want to promote officers, they take all the others, take them to their own exam. They take their own exam before they will take. This is what I'm saying. Because the North and the South don't have the same educational level. So the North are giving preference first when it comes to education because of the fact that their education is disadvantaged. Now, this same education is available are the ones who are highly educated. In the end, what are we seeing in Nigeria? The country is going backward. So what I'm saying is that the president who concentrates on his own people and makes them everything is destroying Canada. No matter how you look at it, every person in the whole village, there are people in the whole village who are qualified to become GRM staff. There are people who are qualified to become attorney general. There are people who are qualified to become everything in every village. It's not right just to pick people from the whole side and make them and be the other level. Because you just say this is wrong. So it is not a matter of saying it's being partisan. No, it's the president that is appointing that thing that is being partisan. He's being paternalistic by appointing his own people and sending people with us. It's not this one. It's the government of Nigeria. It's not the government of Bala. It's not the government of Bala village. It's the government of Nigeria.
Okay, just got in the note. This is how far we can go on the program. But Barrister Edgar, before we go, I just want you to, if you need to advise the National Assembly concerning this bill, what would be that advice?
Well, my advice to them is that they should look very well about that bill. I told the bill because the slow start, they did the slow start for the Senate said last 2 days ago, but there is no reason for the Bruhara that the bill just passed first reading. But during first reading, nobody looks at the bill. The bill is first reading is just like an introduction that there is no second reading, third reading, and all these things. So we do that and then we look at it critically and then know that they should pass it. But to me, for what was done in Nigeria, Nigeria don't want that bill. That bill should be discarded. We have enough.
Okay, this is coming in and it says, anonymous anyway, it says an obnoxious law such as this will further drive on the ground and into hiding the opposition and genuine social critics who speak truth to power and criticize serial people and anti-people, corrupt and high-handed policies of the government.
Well, that's the way I say it. That the bill would silence social critics. You are want to say something, someone will tell you this is hate speech. Before you know it, as I finish the program as a man, DSS will stop me on the road, take me to Abuja for me, money for me, I don't want money because I criticize the government. Because the government is doing something I don't have the right to criticize. But now we don't do that law. We don't need it to retain the bill. If you don't need it, it's rejected totally. We want the law. If you feel I stand against you, shall you sue me? When you sue me, I will go myself. I will tell you what I said is you, or I didn't say it, or I didn't know the way I say it. That's what I'm saying. It's not like you just use faithfully. Maybe you have leak what I said to somebody that died. I said somebody is dead. Therefore I should be killed. That is not justice. America doesn't have that problem. Look at what's happening in America. People can come out and criticize the government. People can come out and criticize the government. People can come out and tell you about the face. You are a failure. But in Nigeria, I want people to talk to the line. Talk and they will arrest you. The next day something will happen. I'm going to the jungle. So when people can't say that we will sue, people think that we're doing. I don't want to believe that we will sue. But the government still believes that. How will you make a talk to another? Release to it. The reason we listen is that happening in the zoo. Let's be honest ourselves. We say we're in the zoo, but we don't the house. The court says, do this thing, you need to do it. This lack of guidance has made the government to be the laughing stock in the eyes of the whole world. Take it out the court, which is waiting. The court says, listen, you need to listen. I hear telling me you're a good president. When you don't do all that out of the court. It's just a mockery of the whole system.
Alright, thank you for giving us the time, and because this is how far we can go, but we want to say quickly that the views expressed on this program is totally the opinion of our guests and callers on this program. It's really different from them completely. To say the opinion and views expressed on this program do not represent the position of MCLTV, the entire those of the guests and callers of this program. Barrister Emperor, thank you for finding time to always come on the program.
Thank you very much.
Alright, and of course we say stay tuned for hot seats will be coming up in the next few minutes, and of course Chinezo will be discussing with Barrister Victor Mugo. I'm sure you want to keep a tab on that. Bye-bye.